Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines about news that is going on here in Puerto Vallarta, in our state, Jalisco, in our country, Mexico. That concern us as a community of English speaking locals. We get together also to exchange questions, topics, ideas, and all kinds of suggestions on how to best take advantage of our life here as a community of locals. It is a pleasure seeing you today. Today is Thursday, May 13, and we have a really fun program scheduled for today. There's some important news, there's some leisurely news, there's there's a little bit of that and a little bit of this, and I'm wiggling my head for a very specific reason that will become clear in a little while. What the hell? Luna is sleeping, so I can show you why I'm wiggling my head today. Today is Stevie Wonder's birthday, so today we are going to talk a little bit about Stevie Wonder's music and and a couple of aspects about his life. Not much, but I want to give you some music to listen to because he's just genius. But first, we have important news that we want to get through, so we might as well get going with our news. And as usual, we'll get to your comments and questions in the second half of the program. If you have anything important that you wish to share, please add the letter Q to it. If this is the first time that you are here and would like to let us know, please feel free to write new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a proper welcome. Before we go there, we might as well get done with the news. Well, the first thing that I want to let you know, this is actually good news. The air quality alert that was issued this past Saturday for Puerto Vallarta due to all the wildfires going on in our surrounding hills has now been deactivated as the fires are now under control. Hopefully, this will be the only instance this season in which we'll have this problem. Hopefully, it'll start raining soon, and we'll have some more news about rain regarding how much rain we're going to get this year and so forth in a little while. But in the meantime, things seem to be better with our air quality, and hopefully, this will continue to improve in the next few days. I also wanted to let you know that Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador expressed his condolences regarding the kidnapping and subsequent murder of the three González Moreno siblings in Guadalajara that we reported yesterday. López Obrador offered assurances that the federal government is working in conjunction with state authorities to follow up on this case. He also remarked that it is unfortunate that complicity between authorities and organized crime has regretfully reached a level beyond control in both the states of Jalisco and Guanajuato. As long as we are on that topic, just a reminder, this is electoral season, in Mexico, a lot of mayors and other positions are going to be elected this coming month. So we've talked about this before. The cartel is trying to position themselves in such a way that they have connections with the government, that they are in alliance with the government, and the government is trying to, as best as possible, fight this tradition, if you want to call it that. And this is one of the reasons why we've seen so much violent crimes taking place this time of year. And again, we've said this before, this tends to happen more among politicians, and the cartel itself doesn't really concern us, but I thought I would let you know about this. Now, do you remember when getting on a bus without a face mask was a no-no? Well, that guideline never went away, and I think it is both funny and sad and amusing and important to talk about this. Just this week, a couple that hopped on a bus here in Puerto Vallarta got physical and violent with a driver when the driver said to them, "No, you cannot be on this bus if you're not wearing a face mask." Apparently, they went on to threaten the driver, saying that the driver was going to lose his job for being such an asshole, and so forth and so on. And the driver had to appeal to the National Guard to get them off the bus. This makes me both sad and happy. It's sad that there are still people that don't get it, but happy that the media is covering this. I've become increasingly concerned, actually, over the fact that, wait, let me get rid of Stevie because he's making me a little dizzy. Hold on. Maybe we bring him back in a little while. It is sad to see that there's all this political campaigning going on and marches and demonstrations and so forth and so on, but there's no safe distance between people. It would seem to me that politicians kind of forgot that our health was primary in terms of our priorities. And along those lines, I think it is important to remember that COVID is very much alive and well in Puerto Vallarta. It doesn't hurt to remember that in the last 48 hours, there have been 31 new COVID cases in our city and 3 deaths, which is absolutely sad. So, it's still time to wear face masks. It's still time to safe distance. It's still time to stay at home. And we don't know exactly when this is going to go away, and that's just the nature of the beast. Moving on to other news, I hope you're ready for tropical storm season because authorities and weather experts have predicted that up to 39 of them are going to develop in the Pacific Ocean this season. It is also expected that this year, because of the number of storms, that we will receive more rain than usual, and this is absolutely lovely if you ask me, because we are due for some good refreshing rainstorms. So these are pretty much some of the formal news that we have. Let us move on to to the weather, of course. And we cannot move on to the weather because I haven't turned the weather on. How about we turn the weather on so we can figure out what's going on? Good morning, Mr. Snarky Weatherman. What do you have for us today? Sometime before Christmas. Okay, while the weather is loading, I can probably summarize the weather with this lovely little where is this? Here it is. I have to show this. If you want to know the weather in Puerto Vallarta, here is the weather in Puerto Vallarta. There's our planet, there's the sun, and there's Puerto Vallarta in the middle. It's getting warmer and warmer all the time. And of course, I am being silly. Let's get rid of that. And now we can take a look at the weather, which is now alive. That cloud looks like you're getting your eye plucked out by a raven. Okay, whatever. It is 30 degrees. It hasn't been 30 degrees this early in the day in some time. Feels like 31. That would be 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is at 51%. And our weather forecast for today calls for a clear day, high temperature of 33, low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, we can expect a partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 24. And on Saturday, we will have a partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 33, low temperature of 23. And that's what we have for the weather. Let's see what is next before we get into chit chat mode. Yes. I received a couple of interesting or important questions through my personal Facebook page. I usually don't answer questions through it. Instead, we like to encourage you to use the contact form that we have on the website. But let me show you what I have here. Paco, I have a few questions to ask since I've decided to relocate to either PV or Mazatlan. So I know that they're only 277 miles apart, so climate must be similar. Actually, no. Because we live on the coast, climate is somewhat different between both cities, and there's a lot of factors involving that have to do with that. But it's far away. They're related, but not similar, I would say. So I'm a medical professional and do ultrasound. Can I work in Mexico? Honestly, I have no idea. This is a great question for the immigration office. I couldn't tell you. Next, can I get dual citizenship since I'm half Mexican and have relatives in Mexico City and Cancun? Again, I have no idea since I'm not an immigration lawyer. Your best bet is to contact an immigration lawyer or the immigration office or the Mexican consulate. Lastly, what kind of visa should I apply for? Again, I have no idea. This is a great question for an immigration lawyer or the Mexican consulate or embassy in your city. Thank you for your time, and hopefully by next year, I'll be living in Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan. Hopefully your wish will come true. Again, it's not that I don't want to support you, but, we just tell the news. We're not, for better or worse, we're not lawyers or immigration experts. But the beautiful thing is that, you can Google all this information and you can find a lot of this information online on your own. Another one, Feliz Dia Paco. My friend Jean and I always watch your program. We like it very much. It's very informative and dynamic. Cheers from Toronto. Muchísimas gracias, Jean, and you and your friend. Thank you so very much for watching. It is always appreciated to get that kind of feedback. Muchísimas gracias. And now I have excellent news. Excellent news. You guys are always talking about how you want to know more about Mexican history and things like that. Well, a movie that you have to watch is finally on Netflix, and it has English subtitles, and it is El Baile de los 41, El Baile de los 41, El Baile de los 41, or The Dance of the 41. A gay congressman marries the Mexican president's daughter, but cavorts with a young man at a secret club, and then scandal hits. Based on a true story. It is based on a true story, and we've told that story here at Coffee and Headlines once before or twice before. This actually happened when the son-in-law of Mexican President Porfirio Diaz, who was a known homosexual in political groups in Mexico City and social groups, he married the president's favorite daughter, and on the night of November 20th, 1901, 42 people were apprehended at a party in a private home, which was illegal. It was a raid. It was illegal because half of the people that were at this party were dressed as women but had mustaches. So it was 42 people at the party, but only 41 were apprehended, or rather 41 out of were apprehended. One person was not. That one person was the son-in-law of the president of Mexico. And this is almost 75 years before Stonewall in the United States. You have to imagine how scandalous this must have been. This is the way, boom, this is the way in which the news was displayed. What you're looking at is a headline from the newspaper at the time with an engraving by no other than Jose Guadalupe Posada, who we know today for being the designer and responsible for the Catrina skull that is such a popular icon. and and the news came with a beautiful poem. The news is set in a poem at the bottom. It begins with Aquí están los maricones muy chulos y coquetones, which means here are the sissies, quite cute and quite flirtatious. So this was scandalous, very real episode of Mexican history. And again, it was brought to the screen by a Mexican director. I saw the film with my friend Logan, and it is beautifully done. Unfortunately, when we saw it at the movie theater here in town, it did not have English subtitles. So I'm glad to see this movie on Mexican Netflix now. I'm glad to see the fact that it has English subtitles, and I encourage everyone to watch this film. It's beautifully made. It's very sexy. It's got scandalous sex scenes, which is wonderful. If you want to read more about this, I wrote a big article on the matter. You can find it on our website. It's called Mexico Stonewall Moment. I wrote this as an article for the Tribune during the brief period in which I was the interim editor of the Vallarta Tribune, and I'm going to leave the link to this article for you to enjoy on your own time. I also want to let you know that I'm really, really thrilled that the Met Opera has finally returned to performing. The Met resumes live concerts this Sunday, 430 days after the coronavirus shut down its theater. The orchestra and chorus will present a special program at the Knockdown Center in Queens, with hopes to return to Lincoln Center in September. Broadway is also hoping to return this fall. What does this have to do with Puerto Vallarta? Very little, but personally, I am just happy to see that performing arts are slowly coming back. And now I want to end the news before we get into conversation mode with the fact that Stevie Wonder is 71 years of age today. Can you believe Stevie Wonder is 71? Let's see if I can be Stevie Wonder at least for a second. Can I do this while we're live? Yes, I can. There you go. You are the sunshine of my life. That was not funny. Okay, anyhow, who is Stevie Wonder? Stevie Wonder is an American singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer, one of the most successful members of the music community in the United States, a prominent figure, a successful songwriter, a successful musician. So just in case you're not familiar with his music, I'm going to leave you with some wonderful encounters with Stevie Wonder's music. I'm going to leave you with 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 links for you to enjoy. The first one will give you a nice overview of his music. When Stevie Wonder goes on Carpool Karaoke, it is just hysterical because he starts at the driver's seat, and I don't want to ruin the joke, but we know that Stevie Wonder cannot drive. And if we don't know that, well, maybe we should be watching Carpool Karaoke. I'm also going to show you the link to my favorite of his songs, which is Overjoyed. Overjoyed is a beautiful, beautiful song. And let's just say that if I could offer you a special pill that could help you understand the harmonic marvel that goes on in this song and how the harmony is, it is just fascinating. I just wish I could impress that upon you. It's difficult here because we don't have a piano and all that stuff. But Overjoyed is without a doubt my favorite song of his. I'm going to share with you his own version. I am also going to share with you this beautiful version that was performed by jazz bass player Esperanza Spalding. She sings and plays double bass at the same time. This is from another one of those fabulous performances from the White House where the White House salutes different musicians. And last but not least, as if the song was not interesting enough on its own, the amazing Chick Corea makes the song his own by performing it on the piano. It's an instrumental, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous version of this music. So if you care to have your very own Stevie Wonder birthday party today and would like to look at some of this music, The links will be in the show notes. With that said, let us now take a quick look at who's here, who's joining us, and see what everybody is up to. Ding da ding ding dang dang. Hello, Craig. Let's see. James is getting closer to Puerto Vallarta. Good for you. Um, and it is another beautiful day in paradise. Absolutely. Uh, oh, wonderful. Jill, who has a friend in Cuastecomates, is visiting from Cuastecomates. Good for you. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. How old is he now? I believe we answered that question. Um, Bill and Dory went to Mama Caguamas last night, and it was excellent. That makes me very happy every time you guys make connections with the places or the people that we mentioned here at Coffee and Headlines. That means that we are doing what we set out to do. Thank you very much for letting me know that you had a good time. Let's see. Ba-dum-bum-pim-pam-pam. Carol is going back up north. I'm very glad to hear that you had 6 great months in your Puerto Vallarta home. My best wish for you is that you'll have your other 6 months up north as enjoyable and as safe as you've been down here. Michael says air quality hasn't changed here at the house. Good idea is not to change the dog food brand. Okay, fair enough. I think it'll take probably a few days for the air to become better. Da, 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 da. Jeannie appreciates that we share the news that other media sources do not. Thank you very much for that, Jeannie. I think sometimes news can be shared by many outlets, other times not. What we try to do, and you guys know that, is not only offer a well-balanced choice of news, but also offer a little bit of context as to why they're important. If we ever fail to do that, please let me know, because that will always be one of our top priorities. I am doing great today, Alan. Thank you very much for asking. It's going to be an overjoyed day because, first of all, we started early and looked at how many things we could share with you today, and that always makes me happy. It's always challenging when there isn't that many items to bring up during the program. My dear friend Jorge is saying hello from Tepic. Te quiero y te extraño mucho. ¡Mua! It's time for you to visit, my friend. Ya es hora de que vengas. I don't know what that is about, but I can't wait to see where that came from. Michael, you are going to love the film. I mean, you don't have to be gay to enjoy this film because it is actually an important slice of Mexican history. And it's beautifully filmed, such that the clothes they wear and the spaces they use, it's a period piece done with beautiful quality. Let's see what else. Uh, 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 um, Stoked to see the movie. Awesome, Lisa. Please feel free to let us know what you think. Thank you for that, Piba. I agree, it's beautifully done. Um, Yay for the Met concert. See, I know my musician friends here in the cluster get happy. In fact, there was another article that I wanted to share, but it was a little bit dense, very well written. Apparently, the Jalisco Philharmonic is going through its own financial woes, but they have to do with mishandling of money and taxes that are owed and so forth and so on. And the article was a little bit too complex to break down here. I almost was going to share it, but then I thought, well, this is not so much, it may not be appealing to everyone. But I was very happy to see a well-written, well-researched article about the well-being of the most important orchestra in our state, which only means that they're mindful of it and they want to make it better, and hopefully concerts will continue to return. Let's see. Songs in the Key of Life was one of the first albums I ever bought. You know, Sean, I have to say, I am not a Stevie Wonder connoisseur. I've never owned a single one of his albums, but I have admired his craftsmanship as a songwriter for many, many years. And I'm sure that one of these days, if I made it a priority, I would enjoy exploring his music further. La 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 la. Oh, thank you. The music links you shared with us yesterday were fantastic. Karen, again, you guys make my day. You remind me that you are actually looking at the show notes, and I very, very much appreciate that. Um, Dale went to oregano. That's wonderful. That's great. Chef Chela just had a birthday, and I'm glad that you met Taco, the pet pig, who keeps getting write ups. I don't know if you know this, but Oregano, the beautiful Caribbean restaurant here in Versalles, Chela, the owner, decided to have her own pet pig, and you are eating, and all of a sudden you start hearing this going on under your table, and it's Taco, the pet pig, who comes out to say hello. And to me, that's just a priceless Puerto Vallarta type of adventure. I mean, imagine yourself sitting at a nice restaurant in the United States or elsewhere, and all of a sudden there's a pig that starts roaming between your legs. I don't know that that would ever happen. So I'm glad that it happens here in town. Another great dinner. I am so happy to see you guys going out to support local restaurants, and you guys have excellent taste in restaurant choices. Bravos is a wonderful restaurant, and we know that. And of course, we haven't had a chance to sample their new menu, but we hope to be able to do it sometime in the near future. What else? Christy's excited to watch the film. That makes me very happy. And Michael, well, you got yourself out of the closet. I had nothing to do with it. I have a secret to share with you. I am definitely gay too. Let's see what else. Oh, this is funny. Dale didn't tell her friends about Taco, and the reaction was hysterical. See, that would be fun to bring friends to Oregano and not tell them that sooner or later there will be this oink oink happening under the table. That would be a fun practical joke. At least I would find it funny. Then again, some people might not. Okay, so we are done with today. I am happy to report. The new menu. Thank you very much, Michael. The new menu at Bravo starts on Tuesday. It just needs to be perfect. Well, for anybody that is not familiar with Michael's restaurants, everything is just beautifully done. And if you haven't taken a chance to go either to Bravos or Poblanos or Siam Cuisine, you are missing out on great, great culinary experiences in the city, where not only is the food absolutely wonderful, but the service is spectacular as well. So that was that. I am happy that we had this Overjoyed broadcast. I always get particularly giddy when there's a lot of information to share. I thank you very much for keeping me company. And of course, I thank you for coming back whenever you do. I am happy to report that we were able to walk yesterday, and we will have Walking Wednesday tomorrow, as I promised. So hopefully you'll join us tomorrow. It'll be a nice walk. And if you cannot, please stay kind, stay calm, stay happy, stay curious, and most importantly, stay in touch. Have a great day.